Life is a Dream, Chapter 1, narrated by Dilmi Mahadurage. I'm writing this book in order to share one of the most profound awakening I've had 6 months before. I believe by sharing my experience, it could benefit millions of people around the world. Today is June 1st, 2020, and 9 days before, my dad passed away. By observing this life, I realized one thing, that is, this life we have is such a fragile life, and if we were to put aside what is extremely important in life, such as this message, we need to give a second thought about it. When I look at my dad and how he died, it was quite shocking, as he looked quite healthy 1 month before, and in no time he's not even with us. Did he know he would die like that? Not really, because he had many plans which he wanted to do before he dies. He has already received air tickets to go to New Zealand in August, which was one of his dreams. He never made it. Does this apply only to my dad? I don't think so, because almost 99% of people who die without finishing what they came here for. But I want to tell you how you can die as in this 1%, as a blissful death, without any regrets. In my life, I used to ask one question always, that is, for me to die without regrets, what do I need to do? And that's what I did the day I received the answer for it. Answer is realizing the truth, which is discovering who you are. This truth, some people call it enlightenment, moksha, God, nirvana, and you can use any name, but I will write with the word which is least manipulated, that is truth realization. Without keeping you waiting, I will share what I have to share. This life is a dream. Okay, I know, calm down. Yeah, that is the truth. The dream you have at night and the dream you have in the daytime, which now you're listening to my book. This whole thing is a dream. Well, I know this is a big claim I'm making here, but please give me time to further clarify this truth for you. Just for now, know that that is the truth. Well, I know the first thing you will ask for is, give me evidence, so I will believe you. But as for now, you need to ask from your heart. Do you feel it in your heart? What I'm saying is true. If that is the case, please hang in there until I clarify you further. I hope you had times when you felt this life is a dream. The day I heard my dad's death, my elder sister screamed and cried, and she asked one thing from me and brother, which was to tell me this is just a dream. Well, I wish I really could say, yes, this is a dream, but she was not ready to take up this message. Therefore, I just looked down as I didn't have anything to say. I wanted to keep this message for myself so much, but when I see the amount of suffering which people are going through, I really cannot keep it to myself. Well, the reason why I wanted to keep this to myself is very simple. Who will believe this? People who are intimately attached to people and many things in their life. Even I myself couldn't believe it when I first hear this from my master. But when I do the inner work and see it through myself, I realize it is the truth. Well, I know more than people who agree with me. 99% people will disagree and try to argue with me. Well, that is totally understandable. And it will be extremely rare if someone gets what I'm saying right away. hear this truth, they should radically open-minded and let go of all their identification with any dogma or any ideologies, and know that is the last thing people want to do. If you have watched the movie Matrix, that is something similar I could take as an example to demonstrate what I'm saying. You don't need to agree or disagree for what I'm saying, but just be open-minded and see for yourself. I'm not trying to convince you on any beliefs, and I will be the last person to do so. Your mind is the one which needs to go beyond, which keeps you enslaved throughout your life. Your suffering are all invented by your mind. Your mind is deceiving you the whole time. Imagine you go to watch a magic show, and since you know that's all magic tricks, you will not get so surprised with all this magic performing. For example, he put someone into like a coffin and then he cut the box into two pieces. And if he was cutting someone's body into two pieces, but imagine you get out from the audience and you go backstage and see all what's going on behind the show, and you will get to know all the mechanics of this magician. You get to see what there are two people in these boxes where one shows his head and the other one shows the legs. So he never cuts anyone. It's all a nice illusion. Now, if you come back and sit in the audience back again, will you have the same experience as before? Not really, because now you really know for yourself what's really going on. So in the same manner, we are properly deceived by our minds until we figure out all the mechanisms of this sophisticated instrument called mind. After we figure out, like in the magic show, we no longer be a slave to our mind, as now we know all the mechanisms of the mind. Okay, back to the dream story. Have you noticed that when you are dreaming at night, you feel it so real, and at the time, it is your reality? Furthermore, you do not know what is a dream until you wake up in the morning. What if I tell you that that is the same phenomena happens when you wake up? I know this is too big to digest in one go, but that is the truth. You feel that your waking state is the reality, don't you? Of course, that is what I believed for 28 years of my life, until I wake up even from this dream too. I know it's crazy. When you are dreaming at night, have you noticed that you are the one who is creating all the characters and the objects in the dream? Do you agree with me on this? Yes, that's quite clear. It is you who is creating all that is. But what if I tell you that even in the waking state, all the characters and the objects are being created by your mind? Okay, that is too much to handle, but yeah, that is what is really happening. Let me tell you a story. There was this one king who fell asleep and woke up suddenly, and he looked really confused and upset, and the assistants around him asked what was wrong with the king. And the king said, when he was sleeping, he had a dream that he was a butterfly and flying flower to flower, and then that butterfly went to a leaf and fell asleep. And then assistants asked, "Wow, that is such a nice dream, and what they're too confused about?" And the king said, "I'm not sure whether I am the king who dreamt of this butterfly, or am I the butterfly who is dreaming of a king?" I guess this story tells it all. How do you really know that you are not dreaming right now? Haha, you really don't know, that's the truth. Because whenever you're dreaming, you feel that is so real until you wake up. Yes, you're hallucinating all the time, day and night. I know it is too radical, but I have decided firmly that I need to put this message to the world so whoever gets it will get it. And I can be a support for them. Even if one person realizes the truth and go beyond their mind, I think that is my whole mission. If this is a dream, why this feels so real? I know these are the questions which I had when I hear this message, because I see a laptop in front of me and I hear neighbors talking in the next door. So all that is an illusion? Well, yes, it is. All imaginations of your mind. You're sleepwalking all the time. How is it even possible? Let me illustrate this using as an example. Have you noticed hand firecrackers? You can fire them and make many patterns with them like circles, straight lines, etc. But does that circle real or you see that due to the speed of the firecracker? Yes, it does not exist, and you see it due to the speed of it. In the same manner, there is nothing as sophisticated as your mind. It is so fast that due to the speed of your thoughts, this whole world is being created and one thought process slow down, eventually stop for a second, and second will reveal yourself the truth, and what you were doing is hallucinating the whole time. And all the characters are being created by your mind. That is the moment for the first time you will see what is really going on and what is the existence. And in chapter 6, I will explain further how to see this truth for yourself. What about the six senses? If this whole world is a dream, are they not real too? If this whole existence is a dream, then how come these senses become real? Well, yes, it is all your imagination, and you imagine you have eyes and you imagine the tree outside from your mind. And then you again imagine that you're seeing the tree in the same manner you do it with all your senses, which are ears, tongue, skin, nose, and then the mind. But this process is so fast, therefore you never get to know it is just an illusion. Otherwise, imagine you are eating a pizza while watching a movie. Once the movie finishes, you feel you didn't taste your pizza as you were so obsessed with the movie. If your tongue really get the taste, then why didn't you feel that taste when the mind was focused on the movie? So that shows for you to taste something, not only your tongue needs to be there, but also mind needs to be there too. Therefore, it shows your mind is involved with the whole process. I know this is too radical to absorb, and that is the exact reason why I kept this to myself. But I believe there are people who can understand this truth and are committed on this path. So yeah, I cannot be silent. If you feel that I'm talking nonsense, well, I totally get it. Because that is exactly where I was 10 years back when I first started this journey. Therefore, at the time, if someone said this to me, I would have thought in the same manner. So that is totally fine. Well, I'm neither spiritual nor religious. I'm here to just share what is the truth or what is the reality. When someone discovers this precious truth, as a bonus, they become blissful, shredding all their suffering. I believe that is what everyone is striving for, whether they do it consciously or not. I have observed people going to school, universities, and then doing jobs, marrying, and giving birth to children, traveling just to find this bliss in their lives. But unfortunately, at the end of their lives, they realize they didn't find what they were looking for and empty as ever before. That's why the majority people, in order to find ultimate bliss, but they always miss it as they look for it in the wrong places. Always know that the majority does not have the truth, and it is always the minority. Therefore, never look for this in mainstream culture where you will never find. Story. In Lord Buddha's time, there was one great spiritual master called Sanjay Buddha, and he had thousands of disciples. One day, one disciple came to him and said, I found the truth, and it is with Buddha, and I am leaving you. If you want, you can come with me too, as you don't have it. Sanjay said, yes, you can definitely go, and if there's anyone else who wants to go and can go with you too, but I will not come. And before the disciple leaves, Sanjay asks, majority in the world are stupid or the wise. Disciple said, it's stupid. Then Sanjay again asked, then who will have the most disciples, whether it's for me or for the Buddha? Disciple said, well, it is for you, Master. Sanjay, yeah, those who are wise could go to Buddha and stupid will always remain with me, and I will always have the most followers. Haha, that is true for our time too. That's why mainstream culture never talks about the truth. Well, I highly encourage you to walk on this path to ultimate truth where you will never regret the outcome. Lastly, people who try to share this truth were properly abused and harassed. Not only today, even that was the case even in the past. If you take Jesus, he was crucified. Why? What did he do? Simple, he spreads the truth. Because people who live in so much falsified lives and could not tolerate this truth, how can they? That is really sad. Therefore, if you are already angry with my content, I'm not surprised. You need to agree with me, nor you need to disagree. Just simply hear what I have to say, and then see for yourself whether I'm telling makes sense. Activity 1. I want you to watch the movie Total Recall 2012. Thank you for listening.